Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Digital Front Door. I'm Scott Benedict. One of the most notable aspects of retailing in 2024 has been the focus across our industry on the role of technology in not only improving the customer experience, but also in making the operation of various aspects of a retail business more efficient and more effective in producing growth and in delivering business results. Now, earlier this year, I had the opportunity to attend the National Retail Federation's Big Show event in New York City. This is a really huge event, and it was one of the first indicators for me of the increased focus that our industry was placing on technology solutions this year. It was during this event that I had the opportunity to meet John Hopkins, the co-founder and chief marketing officer for HiCart Corporation. And HiCart is a solution provider in the smart car technology space. And John joins us today from his home in Boston. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Scott. I'm really happy to be here. Look forward to our discussion.
Awesome. And I'm so happy to have you because when we met, I was so intrigued by the solutions that your company provides. I'm just so happy that we could have you on and kind of share a little bit of your knowledge and about your company and the industry with our audience. So thank you for joining us today.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to bring a little bit of our shopping solutions and fun stuff that we're doing to Bentonville and beyond.
Awesome. Well, let's start with kind of helping to educate people that maybe aren't as familiar with smart car technology. And so can you kind of start off by defining exactly what your solution is and how it impacts the shopping experience for a consumer in a retail setting?
Sure. Yeah. So my background, I spent years in technology, and then had a career detour into the grocery food business, running my own food brand. So became very familiar with grocery stores, retailers, working as a brand to build that shelf visibility for your product, working with small stores, large chains, and such. So have a great background in that space, and really got excited when I joined HiCart about a year ago as a CMO to really bring forward this technology to the North American marketplace. So what HiCart is, we are a provider of AI powered digital shopping carts. So really around, if you think of a shopping cart, four wheels, that's what we have. Except we really, the founder of the company looked at this and saying, how can I make shopping experience more digital and bring the capabilities of what we have on our phones to a traditional shopping cart, and really improve that shopper experience. And then for the retailer, really give them an opportunity to engage that shopper as they go on their shopping journey in the store. So what we provide today is a shopping cart that has a tablet, a scale, and cameras and sensors on it. And then we also, that's the full shopping cart capability. And then we have a retrofit so it's a tablet and camera that fits onto an existing shopping cart. And I can share more as we go through it, but really, what we help retailers with that is really now empowering that customer as they go through the store, to know where things are, to learn about promotions and sales and and product information, nutritional information, recipes. So that's what we help retailers with today.
Well, that's awesome. And it feels like one of the first things that I think a lot of people think about when they think of smart carts is that it helps to speed the checkout process by collecting item information as you go. But it feels like, as I learned more about your solution, it's a smart cart can really help a shopper locate a product that they're looking for, either in a large grocery store, in a large supercenter. Am I thinking about that the right way?
100%. Yeah. So one capability is, faster checkout, frictionless checkout, as we call it. So when the shopper scans each item, they're running their total there on the cart. They can see how much the order is going to be, and then when they're completed the shopping journey, they can check out right on the cart. But the other thing, there's so many more things. So that saves the store some time and the shopper time, and makes, they don't have to go back and take everything out of the cart to do self checkout or at the cashier. But within the store, there's lots of great things that we do. And one of them is, we've all been in large supermarkets, and I'm looking for, the cinnamon, or I'm looking for apples or applesauce, or, whatever item I'm looking for. And as we, try to find that in the store, it's, we're getting frustrated. So within our cart, there's two ways we can do that. Either voice. So if the retailer has activated the voice capability on the carts, the shopper can simply say, "Tell me where the apples are, or where the cinnamon spices are, or whatever they're looking for in the store." Or if they don't have the voice activated, they can type it. There's a screen that comes up, locate, and the shopper can type in what they're looking for. And then the retailer then has an opportunity to say, okay, this shopper is looking for X or Y. And we either allow them to do a store map. So just like in your car and your iPhone or Android, it will take you to that location in the store, in the cart, navigate you there like you would in your car. Or you can just have it simply say it's aisle 7 and halfway down. So depending upon the level of the retailer has with that planogram, we can accommodate
that. I think that is so neat, particularly when you first shared that with me, because particularly in a large grocery store, even if it's one that you're used to shopping in, finding an item can make the difference between making a sale, building a basket, and obviously serving a customer. So there's such a big opportunity there that this technology and that capability just seems so neat and so exciting. I think
we're all in a hurry. Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So one of the things that's also a topic of a lot of discussion in our industry is the growth of retail media. And it's a huge opportunity and a huge area of investment, both for consumer brands and for retailers. But most of that investment really has historically impacted the online shopping experience. I'm curious how smart carts that are connected to retail media campaigns can really impact not only the shopping experience for the customer, but create another touch point for the advertiser and for the retailer.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, that's certainly the buzz today, is retail media. So I think, we're square in the middle of that. We provide, really a game changer. So, one thing that's, technology has changed so much of our lives. But if you think about a supermarket or a retail store, the shopping cart hasn't changed. If our grandparents went into a store today, the shopping carts would look the same as they did 50 years ago. So the cart really needs to be changed. That's really what our founder has envisioned. And really bringing that online, offline, in-store experience to that shopper, and which most people today expect. They want to know more about products, and they want to know what's on sale. What's healthy for me, what's locally made, things like that, that we all, expect on our online shopping experience doesn't always happen in the retail world. So the retail media piece is really a key for that. With our carts, we have a couple of unique capabilities around location. So as we talked about before, where the shopper can say, where is that item? This retailer knows where the cart is. So as you're going down on your shopping journey and the shopper wants to know what's on sale on that aisle, or using our AI power, maybe because we're hooked into the loyalty system, know that the shopper purchased a spice item last time, and they're in front of the spice area, and it's an opportunity for, let's say, McCormick that would want to push an ad or push saying, here's a new spice that they've come out with. So
Yeah.
really simple things like that would really enrich the shopping experience. Today we can do so that we can do so based on location, based on loyalty, based on personalization. The card has all that capability in it, and then really bringing that point of sale, which I think many retailers think as the checkout counter, but really the point of sale is that the point of shelf. So really bringing that opportunity to engage the customer, just like online, with your basket and shopping at the point of shelf. So the brands have an opportunity working with the retailer to push ads, to push specials, to inform the shopper and the customer what they have that's unique. And then the retailer has the opportunity to personalize that. So, if I'm gluten free, I'm in the grocery store, I would want to know about new gluten free items. Or, if I've shopped gluten free for one item, maybe there's something else that I don't know about that I would be, that I would look to the retailer to send me information about. So, it really gives it a game changer to for the retailer to bring all that media in and place it right at the shelf level for the customer.
That sounds so neat, and it really allows, I would imagine, both the retailer and the advertising brand to place their ads and place their messaging right at the point of sale when a customer is in a store shopping in ways that they haven't been able to do historically. And I got to think that that's a pretty neat part of the solution that you provide.
100%. I mean, we're working with some grocery chains now that have made enormous investments in recipes on their website. And you go into the store, you may see, let's say, a seafood item like salmon's on sale. But hurried shopper, maybe I'm thinking like, okay, that would be great tonight, but I don't know what I have at home, and I don't have a recipe. And on the cart, their retailer could have salmon recipes. If you're interested in salmon, here's a few of our top recipes. And then from the recipe, here's the things you would need. I need vegetable, whatever the things are that you would be required for that. And here's where they are in the store. So it makes that shopping journey, much more enriched for the customer.
That is so neat. I want to go back for a second to something that you mentioned earlier, and that is, I think my assumption was always that a smart cart was an investment in a new device, a new cart in a store. But you mentioned earlier that you also got solutions that retrofit an existing cart as well. Can you maybe dive a level deeper on that? Talk a little bit about how you offer a choice of either a new cart or retrofitting an existing cart to your clients.
Right. Yeah. So that's something that we, working with a number of retailers, found that they already have large investments in shopping carts. So having a whole new cart may not be the short term solution that they would want. So having a retrofit as the tablet that fits onto an existing shopping cart, but it also has a lot of the power, the capabilities we talked about, whether it's retail media or location-based services, are in that retrofit. So any size shopping cart it can fit onto, whether it's a traditional grocery store or a large shopping cart, or a small one like in a pharmacy type store, it fits on those, and it has the power of all the location capabilities. What it doesn't have though is the scale and the sensors. So those become important for identification of items. So if around loss prevention, what am I putting in the cart? Whether it's maybe it's alcohol and that's going in, and it requires an ID. That would be flagged. But so some of those things you don't have, with the retrofit that you would have in the full device cart.
Yeah, and that makes sense. What I think from my lens as a former retailer is at least you offer your clients a choice and a way to perhaps make the investment a little less painful on a retrofit scenario, but you do lose some of the capabilities that a full-on new cart would provide, right?
Yeah. Right. I think it's just really around the device as what, a full device. You still can do the checkout with the retrofit or the full cart. But really, the example I use is if I mistakenly, scan in a 1 liter bottle of soda, but I put in a 2 liter in the cart.
Yeah.
That we would catch that. Where with the retrofit would not be as easily caught because it's only the camera that's doing the identification. But you'd have all the other retail media capabilities, location services, where something is with the retrofit with both products.
Neat. And as we talk about that, one of the things that's kind of in the back of my mind is that any technology solution, whether it's smart carts or some of the other things that you and I both saw back at the big show last winter, is that there's a significant investment on the part of the retailer in any new technology solution, including smart carts. As you work with retailers, how typically do you counsel them to think about the return on investment or the ROI on the investment in a solution like yours? How do they evaluate that investment?
Sure. Yeah, that's a really good question. So, with any investment of a technology, that you have to have the benefits of it, and I think that's another place where, in working with retailers that are now customers, we really help to identify how we would help them gain that return. And so a few things, around cost savings for sure, that you need less checkout counters or self-checkout counters within a store. So that's one area. And then staff that you would have who may be doing checkout today can be more customer service oriented. So maybe they're helping customers deal with things that that they don't have time to because they're checking them out. So now they're much more customer service oriented. So there's savings around that. Then really the flip side of ROI is how am I going to make more money on this, and what am I going to achieve on putting this technology in our stores. So around retail media, we talked about that. So really changing the game for brands inside a store. So as a previous brand owner, as we would do shelf talkers, we would do displays and things like that within the store to build that visibility of our product. And now with our cart, with HiCart, you can have all that capability and offer it to brands right on the cart. So again, as I was saying earlier, if we're a gluten-free item, here's and I'm interested in gluten-free, so I can really granularly get to the point of the shopper I want to engage for my product as a brand.
Yeah.
And then I think the real game changer for a store is the data and insights, and that really plays into the AI capabilities. So now as I go shopping, I've been shopping at the same stores for 20 years. The retailers know who I am, and now they have an opportunity to really make personalization, make recommendations, show me things that I'm interested in, because I've for a number of data points, and they can do that in real time. So that's one for the shopping experience, and on the brand's experience, the money they're investing in these campaigns can show immediate attribution. So as I buy that item, because I saw the ad or because I've gotten a coupon in real time, the retailer knows I purchased that item. That information is correlated. So the brands and the retailer know, okay, in these campaigns were run in these stores. Here's how the sales were that particular day, that particular hour, and attribute back to the brand that's paying for those campaigns. So I think it's really a game changer around that. And I think the other, that's one of the reasons I'm excited about being here, is that for the shopper, the shopper really gains a new experience. And
Yeah.
I think in today's competitive world, what we have data, I'll talk about that maybe later, is that for customers that use our technology, the transactions are higher per shopper that shop on smart shopping carts, so that
Yeah.
they're staying in the store actually longer. You think it would be less, but it actually is longer because they're discovering new things and they're buying more things. So that's there, and then the average transaction size is going up. So they're purchasing more, and then they're coming back more often. So they're becoming more loyal. They maybe don't shop at many stores. They're staying with your store more so than the other ones.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I think is so neat. As I learned from you about your solution, about this technology, is it very much appeals to my experience as a retail merchant, and knowing that building a basket
Yep.
and having opportunity to perhaps offer a solution to a customer. You mentioned the showing menu solutions, and then here are all the items that make up that solution. You really have an opportunity to build a basket in a way that we typically think of with a digital shopping experience, but you have an opportunity to do it there in the store. And so it feels like, if you're a CFO thinking about these investments, or a CIO thinking about it in terms of technology investment, there's a lot of positives that help kind of balance off yes, but we have to invest in a technology solution. Well, this technology solution produces a whole lot of benefits that I think maybe folks have historically not associated with smart cards. So that is such a neat part of your solution, and I was really intrigued by it. One of the things I was going to ask you is that when you reach an agreement with a retailer and they take advantage of your technology, do they typically start with maybe a pilot program, or do they typically go chain wide, kind of big bang all at once? What's your experience in terms of how retailers get started in evaluating a solution like yours?
Right, yeah, that's a great question. So we don't recommend going chain wide for to start off the first deployment. So really looking at a pilot program. We work with a retailer on defining what the project would look like, the pilot, what are the benchmarks, and a couple of things that we recommend from experience is to start on at several stores, not just one or two.
Right.
So you want to get a data pool that's larger than one or two stores. And then, because it is new technology, customers, here in the U.S. are not familiar with the technology. Although our heritage comes from Asia, there's a lot more adoption a bit faster there. But so there's within the plan that we develop is how do you engage the shopper, in the store when they first see this cart, and have them use it. So that coming up with criteria around that engagement. The other pieces of the puzzle that we work with them on is getting the different organizational people on the page. So because we touch many parts of the organization, the carts won't work unless we're working with the IT folks. So we need to work with them. Really, the carts, a key thing is having management on board, executive management. This typically would be a high profile project. So having them involved in understanding the benchmarks and the milestones that the pilot would look to achieve. Other areas in the organization, it's merchandising, store ops, the retail media folks. So really bringing all those parties together. And then, some of the other components of our technology, we need to be connected to Wi-Fi, so the store operations people need to be there. And there's training at the local store level for folks. So for better or for worse, there's a bunch of components that go into a pilot. And I think the real thing that we work with is looking to have a clear plan and understanding of how that rolls out, because the carts do touch on lots of areas.
It is, and it's pretty revolutionary change to the business. And it feels like you've really got to have not only an executive sponsor
Right.
in the company that you're working with, but you have to have really participation and buy-in from all those different functional areas that you mentioned, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I think that really, in our experience, having those buy-in and the plan and the milestones for the pilot, and then the deployment of the pilot, really, separates success. So, the idea that we want to bring to the retailer is the pilot really is going to allow you to set up a deployment plan that then you can roll these out based on the experiences that you're getting from the initial stores.
Makes sense. I know that HiCart is a global company, and that you have probably gained a lot of learnings about consumer adoption for your solution in other parts of the world. As smart cart technology becomes more prevalent in the U.S., are there uh, any adoption or any kind of consumer acceptance practices or learnings that you got from other parts of the world that you can foresee might anticipate as the technology becomes more prevalent here in the U.S.?
Yeah, sure. I think there's a couple of things. As a company, we've got tens of thousands of carts deployed with retailers around the world that are doing millions of transactions a day on the carts. So we have a good base of knowledge, and I think some of the things in the pilots that we've got engaged with is getting that shopper experience easy, for the shopper. So,
Right,
and that comes down to what the tablet looks like, what type of engagement the retailer wants
right,
to have with the shopper.
right,
I think the other key things is around um, the expectation of the store staff, having them knowledgeable what the carts are, and as customers shop to help them in the store. So having that
right,
as part of the equation, and I think around the back end systems. So really making it the cart would really look at making sure it's connected to the point of sale system, to the
right,
catalog management system, so all the product and the information about the products are in on the cart, and around the media piece. So you really want to bring
right,
those components together. I think for the shoppers, we see that once those things are there together, they're excited about
right,
it. It really, in today's world where people are watching each dollar that they spend. Now I know as I'm going down, I want to, buy items. Maybe I only want to spend a certain amount of money. I have a tally
right.
right there. Um, and if I'm looking for specials, I don't know how many people still pick up the store circulars, the paper
Yeah,
ones, but right there, the stores invest a lot of money in having what their specials are each week. So now they're on the card. So things like that really help engage the shopper, because at the end of the day, just like with any technology, uh, the users have to adopt it. So the shoppers have to engage and want to use the cards.
gotcha. I'm curious, are there particular types or formats of retailers that really tend to benefit the most from a technology solution like yours?
Yeah, so the majority of the folks that we've worked with so far have been grocery chains, grocery stores. So that's where the carts are. People go in there, they buy 20, 30, 40 or more, seeing the big shopping carts fill up at the holidays. So that's really, the main place for us. Though we have customers that are pharmacies. So
Right.
the folks like that, we believe box stores like a Home Depot, folks like that, club stores. So those are really the key areas for us.
Gotcha. I'm curious about so much of what you and HiCart do is new to a lot of people, but are there any kind of new solutions, new breakthroughs in smart cart technology that you see coming down the road?
I do. I think there's a couple things. So we launched our retrofit this year device. So that we offer. So we're the only provider that has both a full carts solution. We have three sizes of the full carts: a small, a medium, and large. The large would be a traditional grocery size cart. Then we offer the retrofit that fits on existing shopping carts. And then what we've been working with stores is really around that location-based services that I mentioned. Shoppers really like that capability, and it really provides value back to so many parties. So all those folks I told you that have to be involved in the pilot stage. Well, once you deploy that, now we generate heat maps. So we know the shopper's journeys, and you can use the information about who the shopper is and where they're going in the store. So again, back to, let's say, the retail media folks want to run a campaign, and based on the location in the store, is that a good spot? As an example, that has a lot of traffic. So having that now data that the IT folks and other parties in the store can use to get really granular. So that product's called WDA, and that's we believe a game changer for us. That it really provides a very specific location down to inches for the cart. So it really gives that that's that retailer visibility into the store like they've never had before. And then heat maps coming from that, and then on the back end, we've invested in a number of dashboards, and really that real time data and analytics that help drive that AI capability. So plugging back into your loyalty system
Wow.
is key for us. And then things around payments. We just announced a partnership earlier this week with a scan and go provider, and the example I would use as a shopper is I've again shopped at the same stores online. My credit card's there. I go, I use the same credit card, and the only time I change it is if the credit card is expired. And but I go to the same grocery store. It feels like the first time I've been there each time. They have my credit card stored. The loyalty programs are not really tailored to what my interests are. So I think so we're doing things around payments where the retailer knows who I am, my credit card is stored. So it just makes that transaction frictionless, and back to that online offline experience. So the shopper maybe buying things online at the grocery store, having it delivered. Now that in-store experience is the same as the online experience.
How neat. That is so exciting. I'm just curious, kind of the last question, John, I wanted to pose to you is if you had the ear of a retailer who's considering a smart cart technology, what's kind of the big advice, or what would you tell them to think about or to consider if they're looking at the possibility of implementing a technology solution like yours?
Well, I think this is exciting times. It may not seem like that for some retailers, but I think shoppers are eager for this type of technology. We've seen it in the pilots that we've done with the customers that we have. So I think the ear of the retailer, I would say, is to bump this up on the priority list. If smart carts are out in the future, really bring that in to a top item as they look, as they turn the page into 2025. What technology is going to move the needle for my business? If I implement something, which really going to help me move my revenue numbers, and give that return back on investment. We believe, and we demonstrate that, is that we're going to move the needle. We're going to move the revenue needle, and then we're going to really move the needle for shoppers interested in coming to your store and creating that loyalty where they come back more frequently and they have higher basket size, order sizes.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, John, thank you so much for sharing your insights on this exciting new retail technology and talking about not only how it impacts the shopping experience for consumers, but it feels like it also really has opportunity, to your point, to move the bottom line for retailers as well. So thank you for your time and thank you for sharing your insights with
It's
us.
awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Scott. Thanks for, I appreciate the opportunity to share more about us. So thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Well, for our listeners, if you want to learn more about HiCart's technology solutions, or if you just want to reach out to John directly and learn more about HiCart, you can visit John's website or the HiCart's website at hicartcorp.com, or you can drop John an email at john.hopkins@hicartcorp.com. So that's our episode for today. Welcome and thank you for listening into the Digital Front Door. I'm Scott Benedict. Thanks for watching.